American Airlines is fighting to stop a hostile takeover. U.S. Airways wants to merge with American and even has the support of 3 of American Airlines' most powerful unions. But American Airlines, which is currently in Chapter 11, says it wants to come out of bankruptcy as a standalone company. And joining us now with more on what this merger could mean for travelers, because that's the important part in all of this, Jason Cochran, writer and New York Post travel. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So it seems like this deal will get done, but possibly not overnight.
No, it's going to take a very long time because the government has to get involved and make sure there are no trust issues to worry about. And like you said, American also wants to have its own go of things. Right now, it's saying it'd like to be an independent airline, but maybe not going to happen that way because its own unions want to go with U.S. Airways.
Yeah, and you bring up the unions. This was a very important part to Doug Parker, the CEO of U.S. Airways. He's tried multiple times and failed to get other airlines to team up with him. He's tried to take them over, and he's said before the key is getting the unions on board.
And he's got the key. Yesterday, they signed an agreement that said they would like to work with U.S. Airways. They would like to go underneath the American umbrella, though, so it'd be one big airline. Now, keep in mind, about 5 years ago, we had 8 major airlines, and if this goes through, and it would again take a year and a half or more to go through, we would have essentially 4. And the reduction of competition is going to have some effects for consumers.
What do you think they'll be, those effects?
Well, after the Delta-Northwest merger, some scholars at the University of California in Irvine in the School of Economics said that its smaller airports' airfares went up a little bit. At the larger hub airports, not so much, but the smaller airports get hurt a lot more. And it's simply free market 101. With fewer competitors, there's less to hold down the prices, and an airline can raise prices pretty much more without anyone else coming at them with a competition.
A lot of people are worried about what happens to their mileage here. What happens to their frequent flyer programs?
A big question mark, because U.S. Airways is with the Star Alliance and American is with One World. That 2 different groups and 2 different networks of airlines. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen and which airline is going to win out on the alliance front. But also, there are going to be fewer seats flying because, because one airline goes away, a lot of routes can be reduced, a lot of, or at least some runs can be reduced, and so there are going to be fewer seats going. With fewer seats going, as we all know, getting your frequent flyer miles redeemed is not such an easy trick.
Much more difficult. Jobs are important, clearly, to the economy overall, and certainly to the unions involved here. American originally said 13,000 job cuts would happen in its bankruptcy to its union employees. Are the union employees actually going to get a better deal? Will fewer jobs be lost if U.S. Airways does this?
I mean, sure, no American at all means no jobs, right?
Sure.
So that's 55,000 people among those 3 unions who have made this agreement. So yes, it will save some jobs, not all, because again, some of these flights will be reduced. But yeah, it would be a good deal for them. And they're so angry with American Airlines, and this is one reason they're going with U.S. Airways, but it does save their jobs if it does go through.
Really? You think it will save as many jobs as they're guaranteeing
Many of them,
right
not
now?
all of them, of course. In all these restructurings, there's going to be a shakeout because these guys want to make profit.
Right.
That's ultimately what it's about. And they're not going to keep bloated. That's half the point. They want to scale up so that they can be more nimble to compete against the Delta-Northwest and United Continental and the other players internationally. And scaling up is going to be good for business travelers as well, by the way, because 2/3 of travelers are business travelers. So the scaling up will help the employees be a little bit happier, and hopefully maybe your bags might get lost a little bit less more frequently.
Well, we all like that. Jason Cochran, thanks so much.